Hi everyone, my name is Trish Woman Salmi. I'm a 15-year-old award-winning public speaker, coach, author, and not only that, I'm also a trader and a mentor. So the whole reason why I am talking to you guys today is to simply express a bit more about me, my story, and how you guys can make money doing what you love. So one of many things that I'm passionate about alongside sports, books, is financial education. As I believe that financial education is something that is very, very important. And it's something that is often overlooked in society. Because we often think that, oh, you need to be really smart to have that, or you have to be really wealthy to then start. But I believe that financial education is something that should be made as accessible as possible to everyone worldwide. As not only does it help reshape the way and help you to evaluate the way that you think about money as a whole, but it then also helps you develop some core life skills such as problem solving, such as systematic thinking. Not only that, it also helps you get better at handling money, which also helps you get better at handling and just being able to control yourself in certain circumstances which we may not want to be in at a particular point in our lives. So I believe that financial education is something that's really important. The whole reason why I started my journey into trading and just financial education as a whole is because when growing up, I was I was really really shy. I would not talk to anyone, and pretty much like as soon as we would go outside, that was it. You're not hearing from me. As crazy as it might sound, that was how I used to be. I like if you were to tell me that like I'd be doing this today, a couple of years ago, I would laugh right in your face and say there's no way, there's absolutely no way that I would be talking. But as a result of just like attending personal development events and just like a number of things such as like sports, maths, that then helped me to develop my confidence as a person. And then as a result, I was then able to see my love and passion for football and maths. And then as a result of just like coming to the realization, I was then able to actually find out that I wanted to make money through my love for numbers. And then I came across trading. And I think that trading is an absolutely amazing tool that people should try to start as young as possible. Because, for example, you may have heard, or just you may have heard the story of that friend, family, or just like someone or anyone who's gotten into trading and they've lost a fortune. But then again, you may have heard another story about a person who's made a fortune and they continue to do so. Now, I've heard that story so many times. And I wasn't able to think like what elements of truth can I then take away from this? So obviously there's something that these two people do differently. There's something that the successful person is doing to maintain their success. So I wanted to dive deep into that. I wanted to see like what makes them successful. What do they do? What practices or maybe even techniques or skills, tricks, etc. do they know that is not as widespread as for the other person who isn't necessarily making their ideal amount through trading. And then as a result, I was then luckily able enough to find a mentor called Jurgen Palian. He's an absolutely amazing guy who then taught myself and another associate of mine how to trade for he taught us how to trade for I'd say 2.5 years. And yeah, so this is pretty much like the workbook which I sort of put together from that hour that we spend with him every week. And it's pretty much like everything that we have learned from him. And then there was actually one stage where I then lost the book. and it was crazy. So I was going around trying to remember as much as I could. And as a result, it then put me into the perspective of just having things in place. And that actually leads on to things like generational wealth. You see, when we often hear the thing about generational wealth, we often think, oh, we're rich, we have enough for now. It's all good, there's no need to be sitting and worry about the future. But as we all are aware of the quote, it's better to be safe than sorry. So by having things in place, for example, things to fall back on, and just having that security provides that generational wealth so that let's say that I made 1 billion in my whole lifetime. And then I then go on and blow away all the money, spending it on crazy, all sorts of things. And then the next generation has to start from a fresh slate. Therefore, they are working from the bottom up. And I don't think that that is actually good. I think that's actually you doing a disservice to the next generation. So I think that's actually really important just to have something in place so that the next generation has something to start from. Be it wisdom, be it connections, be it money, just anything, so that that way they are not starting from like a fresh slate. They have things in place to maintain their not only their freedom, but also just maintain security in their lives. And one thing that's so vastly used is the word financial freedom. See, many of us have heard of this word. We think, oh, I want to be financially free means I have to be a millionaire. But that's not necessarily true. The word financial freedom actually means that you are free financially. So, let's say that in a month, I only have to actually spend £2,000. That covers everything from housing, clothing, food, heating, electric, everything for £2,000. And I make, let's say, £3,000 each month. Well, then theoretically, I am financially free, am I not? So that's one thing that I really do urge that you guys get clear on. Because yeah, it's good to say you want to be financially free, but it's actually about working out what that number of financial freedom is for you. And then as a result of then doing so, you are then able to not only get clear on your goals and the things that needs to be done so that you guys are then able to secure that financial freedom, but also then you're then able to get clear on your goals, because then the more specific and clear you are on them, the more easier it is to actually attract them. So that's one thing that I really do encourage you guys to do. And for those of you who may not want to start trading or things like that, there are so many different ways to make money. Because one thing that I definitely know that everyone, at least all teenagers nowadays, love is to be able to make money. So you can do many things. For example, I've written books. I've written over 14 books, and there's so many more to come. So you can do books. You can do courses like me. I also have a financial education course. You can do books. You can do courses. You can do live events. I've done several events like Virgin, Chelsea, but that's only 3 different ways. There's so many more you can do. Not only that, you could then do talks at other people's events. So let's say that they may be a person who wants to get big in personal development, and you're already well known. So the person may then pay you to then attend their event and talk there to then bring in loads of people in order for them to get seen more. So it's just being able to not only leverage your talents and skills and then utilize them to the best of your ability, but just being able to just work smart instead of not hard. And that is something that I believe is very important. And there are these two quotes that I'd love to leave with you guys. The first one is, Leaders originate for others to imitate. Now, this is really important just in anything in life. If you guys want to be a leader, you need to come up with something new. Now, by new, I do not mean crazy. I mean just something that is simple and unique to you that sets you apart from the rest. And the last quote I'd like to leave you guys with is either you run the day or the day runs you. What I mean by that is we all have choice. So it's about taking action and taking responsibility of our choices so that we can shape our lives. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you guys would like to just reach out, connect, or just like see any upcoming things I may have, you guys can follow me on Instagram at author Trayshawn Bensalmi. On Facebook and LinkedIn, it's just Trayshawn Bensalmi. And then, yeah, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you guys soon.